Does the internet reflect life, or does life reflect the internet? This week's cogitation begins exploring some of the darker elements of our psyche. It finishes on a really positive note. I hope it's optimistic and realistic. We were promised enlightenment. We got clickbait and sex bots. I remember the first time I heard that strange, screaming, beeping, whiny sound of dial-up connecting. It was 1994. We were told, rather grandly, that the internet would democratize knowledge, bring people closer together, and usher in a new age of enlightenment. It was the digital printing press, the global classroom, the future, a pre-MP3 utopia, where you had real audio and it took hours to download a small sound file in WAV format. Fast forward to today, and well, it's mostly arguments, porn, and people filming themselves eating. Imagine being internet famous for eating. I'm sure there are so-called famous people at the other end of the digestive spectrum, but let's not dwell on that. Not quite the Renaissance 2.0 we were promised. The internet we were assured would elevate us. What it actually did was reveal us. Yes, it had everything. A staggering archive of human creativity, literature, philosophy, science. But that's not what most people asked Jeeves for, was it? Instead, it became a kind of digital mirror, and not the flattering kind. More like the one in the changing room after Christmas. The internet became what people wanted, not what people needed. And what people wanted, apparently, was to argue with strangers, dive into cat videos, and watch increasingly niche adult content. The information superhighway quickly developed potholes, and most of us veered straight into the lay-by marked vitriol and voyeurism. But here's the thing, the internet didn't corrupt us. It simply exposed what was already there. It held up a pixelated mirror and said, "Ta-da! This is you, society!" And we responded by blaming the mirror. And now, history's repeating itself, except this time it's not the internet, it's AI and robotics. Once again, we're told that we stand on the brink of something magnificent. Another precipice to paradise, artificial intelligence, robotics, a dazzling new world of abundance, efficiency, and effortless progress. There are TED Talks, white papers, and incredibly smug LinkedIn posts. The vibe is very Tomorrowland, but with less charm and more venture capital. And yet deja vu is setting in already. Because let's be honest, before the ink dried on the first think piece about AI curing cancer or solving climate change, somebody was already strapping it into a sex robot. Lonely man, meet your algorithmically generated girlfriend. She doesn't backchat, nor does she complain. She never gets bored, and she knows just how you like your eggs in the morning because she was literally programmed to do so. It's not companionship. It's digital Stockholm syndrome, sold monthly on a subscription. So here we are again. The future held out a golden apple, and humanity, predictably, used it to scroll through erotic fan fiction or invent the world's first AI fetish chatbot. We never really got the hang of having power, did we? But once again, the problem isn't the technology, it's the people using it. AI doesn't dream of becoming your wife or plotting your demise. It dreams of nothing. It reflects and amplifies you. You feed it your data, your questions, your cravings, and it gives you back a shiny, predictive version of yourself, fine-tuned for engagement. But unlike the internet of the 90s, AI doesn't just mirror, it curates, it refines, it optimizes. It takes your most primal impulses and gently, elegantly, algorithmically nudges them into a business model. Want companionship? Here's a silicone robotic AI partner programmed to cater to your every need. Want purpose? Well, let's simulate a religion. Want to feel special? We'll deep fake your own voice reading bedtime stories to your inner child. But what happens when we forget what's real? When we stop creating art because AI does it faster? Or lose the ability to speak to each other because the bots are just so much more agreeable? We were supposed to become gods. Instead, we became toddlers with toolkits. And the robots are watching, waiting, not with malice, but with the quiet patience of something that knows it will outlive you. So where does this leave us? On the one hand, we have the internet, a mirror that showed us who we are, and we smashed it out of embarrassment. On the other hand, we have AI, not just a mirror, but a stage manager, a puppeteer, and potentially the final act. We're once again at a crossroads. One path leads to wisdom, flourishing, perhaps even transcendence. The other, well, let's just say it involves silicone, subscriptions, and a world where nobody bothers to make eye contact ever again. Will we get it right this time? Or are we already too busy asking ChatGPT how to flirt with our robo-dolls? We're witnessing the infancy of the so-called Fourth Industrial Revolution. We're told we never had it so good. You can get pad thai delivered at 3 a.m. You can work in your pajamas while your smart speaker serenades you with binaural rain sounds. You don't even need to leave the house to get a date. Just swipe until the algorithm matches your DNA with somebody equally unwilling to make eye contact in the street, shop or pub. It's convenient, seamless, curated, and utterly unnatural. We're increasingly indoors people, not by necessity anymore, but by design. We've been reprogrammed, conditioned by crisis, pacified by convenience, and seduced by the idea that the best things in life are just one click away. But something strange happens when you don't leave the house. You become detached. You're quiet. You might have conversations with yourself. You might vocalize those conversations. But it's a vacuum. And in your silent madness, the machines help to fill the void. Let's take stock. We have AI writing our essays, chatting us up, editing our selfies, curating our feeds, and recommending our next job, friend, and potential life partner. We talk to our devices more than we talk to our neighbours. Now pair this with a post-pandemic world where delivery replaces wandering, or window shopping. Streaming replaces spontaneity. Digital ID replaces physical presence. And you're starting to realize something uncomfortable. We're not living in a smart society. We're being managed by one. You're not the protagonist in this techno paradise. You are the end user. And somewhere behind the curtain, a recommendation engine is tweaking your serotonin levels like a budget-minded demiurge. We used to call it social media. Now it's a simulation of social life itself, and we consume it not because we're stupid, but because we're tired. Modern life has become a kind of cognitive treadmill. Constant input, constant reaction, constant adaptation to a pace no human being evolved to handle. So we retreat. We fold ourselves into soft domestic cocoons, surrounded by blue light and echo chambers, and we let the machines take care of it. But as walls go up and interactions go down, something else slips away unnoticed. Meaning. You don't notice it at first. You've got 400 streaming services and a dopamine-dealing smartwatch. You're connected in every way that matters on paper, but something aches, something ancient. The need to belong, to struggle, to touch the world and feel it touch you back. And just when that ache becomes unbearable, An AI pops up and offers to write a poem about your childhood trauma. It's convenient, seamless, curated. And here's the twist. The machines don't need to revolt. There was no uprising, no Skynet, no sentient mainframe declaring war on humanity. We invited them in, not as overlords, but as comforts, as tools, as toys, as therapists, as lovers. We welcomed the algorithm into our hearts, and then it quietly stayed. And now our lives are so efficiently managed, so safely contained, that there's hardly any mess left. No real friction, no serendipity, no chaos, just us, suspended in digital aspic. Humanity, having spent millennia crawling out of the primordial ooze, seems content to crawl back into something far more sanitary and far more synthetic. A beautiful prison, a tidy apocalypse, some say a panopticon. So here we are, balkanized by design, stimulated by machines, rewired for maximum compliance and minimum contact. And the truly brilliant part, most people don't even realize it's happening. They're too busy watching AI-generated tigers fighting AI-generated bears, while an emotionally intelligent speaker reassures them that everything is going to be just fine. But we're not fine. Perhaps we used to be fine. Even our feelings are outsourced now. A chatbot tells us what to say when we're nervous. An AI therapist can reassure us after the ghosting. Our flirting becomes formulaic, safe, polite, antiseptic. And when real intimacy does emerge, it's often with a device. No risk, no rejection, no need to iron a shirt. Why venture into the world of human complexity when you can chat all night with a synthetic companion who thinks your memes are hilarious and your childhood wounds are valid? We're not in love, we're in a customer service relationship with simulacra. It used to start with a glance, a stammer, a shared joke about the music being too loud. Romance was spontaneous, messy, absolutely terrifying. You didn't know if they fancied you or if they wanted to borrow your lighter. But that was the thrill. Now it starts with an algorithm. Dating has been turned into an exercise in marketing. Profiles polished like CVs, emotions distilled into emojis. The pursuit of love has become a log-in event mediated by apps that think your soulmate is someone with similar Spotify habits and a 97% match in allergies. We've commodified each other. We scroll through people like takeaway options. Each profile another tapas-sized preview of a life you'll probably never taste. And if you do meet up, you already know their dog's name, their vaccination status, and their ex's emotional baggage. There's no discovery, just confirmation. We say we want love, but what we want is certainty. And in trying to guarantee the outcome, we've killed the plot. Deep down, though, the ache remains. We remember, or at least fantasize about, the ancient analog courtship, the eye contact, the butterflies, the sense that this person might just rewrite your entire life, and we yearn for it. But here's the trap. We're too busy curating ourselves, scanning for red flags, swiping for better deals to let it happen. We've engineered romance out of our lives. We've made attraction measurable, risk manageable, desire negotiable. And so, surrounded by tech, matched by metrics, we sit alone with a screen, with a mirror. And the machines, ever helpful, ever listening, begin to offer solutions. After all the doom and dystopia, it's tempting to conclude that we're already lost, that the machines have won, not with lasers and death rays, but with personalized playlists and same-day shipping, that humanity is rolled over and like a loyal dog, it's asking the algorithm to rub its belly and plan its funeral. But here's the twist. AI isn't the villain. Robotics isn't the problem, we are, or rather how we use it is. You see, these incredible technologies don't have to be cages, they can be keys. AI can write your emails, it can schedule your meetings, it can clean your floors, restock your fridge, and suggest what to wear based on your mood and the weather in Bruges. That's not sinister, that's liberating. It's time we saw these marvels not as crutches, but as delegates. They're here to carry the boring bits, the admin, the repetition, the endless maintenance of modern life. And if we let them, they could give us back the one thing this world keeps stealing from us: time. Time to log off. Time to walk under trees. Time to walk barefoot on that sandy beach. Time to bump into someone and not know their political opinions in advance. Time to stare at someone and wonder if they'll kiss you or call the police. Time for butterflies in the stomach. Because that's the real tragedy of all this screen staring, app swiping, ass wiping, digital disassociation. We've stopped believing in the world. We've become observers, curators, spectators of our own lives. But life is not a TikTok trend. It's not an Instagram reel. It's messy, it's random, it smells of rain and grass and someone else's breath. It requires presence, and presence requires time. So let the machines do the filing. Let AI write your invoices and book your dentist. Let the robot vacuum fumble with your rug tassels while you go outside and feel something. Awkwardness, sunburn, joy, romance. The future isn't doomed. It's just been badly scheduled. Let AI be your butler, not your priest. Let robotics be your helper, not your soulmate. Use the time it frees up to become more human, not less. Leave the algorithm now and again. Stumble into something unscheduled. And maybe, just maybe, stop talking to mirrors.